What is going on, everybody? Todd here, as always, joined by Moriarty, who ceases to amaze me with the amount of pumpkin spice one person can intake.
Yes.
Yeah, as you have a pumpkin spice soda, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken.
Yep. Pumpkin spice soda.
Interesting. I don't know. Like
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's great to have you here, as always.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me,
Yeah.
as always.
Well, I mean,
That sounded a lot dirtier, less dirty in my... whatever. Fuck it. Doing it live. Let's go on. How are you?
It's been an interesting day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I did a live stream earlier. Started a Fable Anniversary. We've done the tutorial, and I've just been adventuring. Like, I have not done a single guild mission. It is terrific.
Sweet.
So, like, once I get into those guild missions, it's going to be like, oh, hey, I'm overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, no, I mean, there was that. I'm still kind of recovering from the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Because too much wrestling.
Yeah.
Too much wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a thing that happens every now and then. We get hit with a whole bunch of it at once. I mean, we had 2 New Japan shows, we had an NXT show, and then we had Royal Rumble, and it was just it was too much.
Yeah.
But for anybody that joined the live stream, the live reaction, like, thank you. You guys are great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun having you guys there. It's something that we'll be doing again. Gonna be happening again. Because it was a lot of fun. So the next two, we have one in February, we have one in March. We have Elimination Chamber in February 25th, I believe. And in March, I forget the exact date, we have Fastlane, which is a SmackDown pay-per-view. So, whatevs. It should be a good time. And then after that, we got WrestleMania. We got TakeOver and WrestleMania. So, but needless to say, it's been an interesting week. Last night we did Brothering Around, which is always fun. It's great doing a show with Wes and Marco. It's great that they allow us to sit in with them.
Yep. It's very kind of them.
It's very
have us join them.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this on, first off, if you guys are subscribed on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, or Radio Public, thank you. Thank you very much. If you guys are watching the video archive on twitch.tv/Precipice Podcast, thank you as well. You guys are great. You really are. All of you. Not just the Twitch people. All of you are amazing. And, yeah, it looks like, if you guys listened to Brothering Around last night, or the last episode 49, on episode 50, there's an announcement. And it is exciting. It is very exciting. So,
I won't be there.
Well,
I will be there in spirit.
Well, apparently Marco won't be there either.
Yeah, I saw you guys are going to try to reschedule the thingy.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine with it. Either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see if I can join in via phone. Maybe.
Yeah.
When you guys decide to do the thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to run that by Nubis.
When's he coming in?
He's coming in next Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm super excited.
I don't blame you personally. You know, whenever you're in a relationship where there is distance, seeing the person is hands
Also
down.
known as a long distance relationship.
I mean, some distances are longer than others.
True.
I know of the I know these things pretty
Yeah, I know.
well.
So do I.
Yeah. But yeah, no, seriously, it's always great to have an opportunity to see somebody, see the person in their corporeal form. You know,
exactly. And then you can touch them and realize they are indeed a real person. They don't live in your computer screen all the time.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Depending on where we go on Thursday, I might bring him by the office and show him that he's a real person too. Or show my coworkers that he's real. And he doesn't just live in my computer.
That's great. That is terrific. But yeah, so you got that going on.
Yep.
It's part of the epic apartment battle.
Apartment Hunt 2K18. I don't fucking know anymore.
Apartment hunting simulator. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just happy to finally be taking the step that I should have done last year.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm just really good to finally get it underway.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely.
And start working towards other adulting things like marriage and bills and stuff.
Yeah, the marriage thing is an interesting interesting animal.
Yeah. So I've been told.
I mean, it's what ruined mine. So
yeah.
So there's that. I mean,
yeah. Marriage tends to ruin a lot of things.
Well, and I mean, it's, you know, for those listening, it's not me saying like, oh, I was in a horrible marriage. No, it was the fact that it got to a point where it's like, all right, well, this is what's got to happen, and it's not happening, so we're done.
Right.
And you're like, well, fuck.
I hate it when like relationships do that ultimatum bullshit.
Exactly.
It's the drizzling shits. It's the fucking worst.
Yeah. No, it legitimately is, and I just can't help but stare at the loving look of Torgo there.
Yes.
He's doing his creepy hand thing.
Love Torgo.
You guys may be wondering why Torgo's there.
Yes, why is Torgo creepily trying to seduce and or touch you? So a few days ago, MST3K celebrated 25 years of doing the Manos the Hands of Fate rift.
Nice.
25 fucking years.
I mean, how many I know we've watched Manos Hands of Fate, the MST3K version. We've watched the Rift Tracks version as well.
Yep.
I mean, Manos Hands of Fate is a weird fucking movie.
It is a weird fucking movie. I think the ultimate like thing to do is just watch it in its own form without any riffing over it and see how much we hate ourselves afterwards when it's all done.
Yeah. See, you can't go into the movie with it being like all right, so you can watch it as a riff first. And you'll be like, wow, they made this movie sound so silly and so funny.
Well, that's what they're supposed to.
Which is their job. Oh, and then you go, hey, maybe I should check this movie out.
Just funny, I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Just the base movie is on Amazon Prime, because it is one of the worst movies ever made, hands down.
I mean, the only competition it really has is apparently The Room.
Is the what?
The Room. That.
I'd say Plan 9 from Outer Space. Also,
I enjoyed Plan 9.
Really?
Yeah. But
did you watch it base movie or Rift Tracks? Jesus.
I've only ever seen a base movie. I've never.
Oh my god, we need to watch the Rift Tracks version, like the Rift Tracks live version. That's when I like the first Rift Tracks live I ever saw. Fucking love it.
See, the thing is, it's like
by itself, I could not imagine.
I love bad movies.
Fair enough.
There's just something about it. Like even MST3K, which was my introduction to a lot of bad movies, and realizing that you could have fun with these horrible steaming piles of dog shit. You know, it kind of lit a flame where I was just like, personally, I love trauma films. Trauma movies are terrific. They're low budget as shit, but I mean, there's just something about there's sort of a charm to them that's just really hard to place. I love those. I love the low budget horror films from Full Moon. If you've ever seen the Puppet Master series, for example, or Blood Dolls or Puppet Master, it's about the base story of it is there's this puppet master, roll credits, who basically gives his dolls life.
Creepy.
Yes, in a sense, but the thing is, it made him like a master at like people saw
a master of puppets
of puppetry and such, because it wasn't just like it wasn't like hand puppets. It was more like marionettes. And I mean, the movie opens up during World War II, and he doesn't want the Nazis to get the secret of this reanimating agent, basically.
Right.
So he kind of hides the puppets, and we fast forward like 50 years.
Oh, Jesus.
And somebody discovers them, and they're just doing what they were taught to do, basically, which was protect the secret.
Right.
Which, in turn, they murder people. And it's
fun.
It's actually pretty cool. It's actually a pretty nice film. It's something I would love to see a riff on, by the way.
Oh, God.
But, I mean, the whole series, like, I think the first 3 or 4 I really enjoyed. And then the others, I think 6 of them.
Oh, God.
That's the thing with low budget films. I mean, it's like playing Game Dev Tycoon. You find one thing that works and you milk the shit out of it.
Of course you do.
It's just like I'm gonna make a game. It's called Kick-Ass Military Man. And it's oh wow, we did so amazing with this. What are we gonna do? Let's do a sequel to it. Oh shit, it's getting even better. Oh shit. Do a third one. We'll do a sequel to the sequel. And then it's like, okay, all right, well, it was good. It was really good. All right, let's try something experimental. Like, we'll do that same formula, but we'll have it in space. It's like
it's almost like the Assassin's Creed formula.
Very much so. Very much so. And I mean, that's what they did, like with those movies, and they're low budget films. That you got to take them for what they are. So the acting's not going to be the best. That going in. The story actually isn't horrible, and I mean that's the biggest takeaway. Like it's watching these films specifically. Whether it was the Full Moon stuff, whether it was the trauma stuff, the being able to kind of pull the story and the plot out of like we have to do shit because we're very low budget was nice, and it let me appreciate the storytelling more. It allows me to appreciate storytelling more than if I just knew like big budget films, it's
right.
But yeah, no, and one time, somebody's like, oh hey, I got the worst movie ever made, and it was Plan 9, and I was like, all right, let's watch it. Let's get high and watch it.
Oh, that would be a very interesting experience.
Well, I mean, that's how we watched a lot of movies in my teens. So
yeah, fair enough.
Like, oh, what we're gonna do? Let's get high and watch a movie. Yeah. I mean, I've already talked about the one guy I would hang out with, and we get high with him. He would put on like Asian cinema.
I have it on my bucket list now to get high and watch Bob Ross. Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome. It is magic.
Have buttered Pop-Tarts.
Oh.
Because I hear those are amazing too.
I mean, everything's amazing when you're high.
I know. Funny story. When I first had the marijuanas, I'd like never smoked before, none of that shit. And I guess like there's like too much like paper on the first one that I tried, and I didn't get anything from it. Second one I had, I didn't feel anything or feel weird or anything. But I realized I was really hungry and I didn't know why, and I was so confused. It's like, these Cheetos are amazing. I'm starving. I'm gonna have more.
That's beautiful.
And it didn't like dawn on me that I had the munchies until like way fucking later.
So,
but it was, oh my god, food is majestic.
Oh, it is.
After you've like smoked, it is the best.
But I mean, this is from personal experience on this. Yeah, the first couple times, like, you don't go in with a plan because you don't know what to expect.
Right.
But then once you do know what to expect, plan ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we would, it got to a point where we would, before we got high, we'd put in a food order. And as soon as that delivery guy showed up and we paid him, like, because we made the mistake once of ordering, getting high, the guy shows up, and we're just like, who fucking ordered this shit?
Oh, God.
Like, it got paid for. But, like, we're looking at this stuff, and we're like,
this food magically appeared.
Did we really need 12 orders of mozzarella sticks?
Yes, you did. That is never a wrong answer, ever.
Exactly.
Stoned or not.
But I would order from this one. There was a few places I would order, but the one I like to order from was a place called Giovanni's.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was an Italian like deli.
I would fucking hope so with a name like Giovanni's.
Okay. So here in my shitty little corner of the earth that I'm in, we have places such as Betty's House of Pizzas.
Okay, is the houses made of pizza?
No, they're not. No.
Damn it. That's false advertising. I want a refund.
So, and I mean, it's just like, growing up, you'd be walking down the street or whatever, and you'd see these little, like, delis or whatnot, and you would see, like Vito's and, you know, Giovanni's and so on and so forth. It was just usually one name. They didn't have to say, like, Italian delicatessen. They didn't have to say this or, you know, pizzas or whatnot. You saw that it was just, like, an Italian-ass name, and you're like, I know what I'm getting there.
Yep.
So, though I am tempted that if at some point I do end up having the stupid income to have a place of business, like a food place of business, which I would just manage. I wouldn't run the place because I can't work a kitchen. That's just me. But I would give it an Italian ass name, and it would not be Italian food.
I fucking knew it. Oh my god. You would be that asshole.
I would. Absolutely. I mean, we would have sandwiches. We would have sandwiches because, I mean, who doesn't love a good sandwich?
Every place needs to have a good sandwich.
Exactly. I mean, I don't care if we do like banh mi's or whatnot.
Right.
It's got to be something.
There's actually a cafe by where I work where they have like a banh mi sandwich, which is supposed to be really good. Really, really interesting.
There's around me there's a little hole in the wall, small little restaurant in Charleston that does banh mi's, and they do like 3 different kinds. And it's the only place like in the area that does them.
Right. And I would imagine so.
And apparently they're phenomenal. So,
wonder if AJ Styles goes there every so often.
Why? Because they're so phenomenal?
Yes. So welcome to the food podcast, everyone. Hope that you are having a fantastic time.
Yeah, it's going to be food. It's going to be some other stuff. We're going to talk a little
I love that we like kind of started off with MST3K and then it morphed into like drugs and food.
Drugs and food, yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Also the other suggestion, see, I when it came to the pots, when it came to partaking in those, I I couldn't do papers.
Right.
It had to be like a pipe or something like that. It was just
Yeah.
cleaner. I didn't have the extra bullshit, and got the job done a little quicker. So
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's that. But then again, that's been shit.
Quite a while now.
Almost 15 years. Actually, it's been 15 years. Shit.
Dang. I bet you feel old now.
Yes, I feel really old. Where's my
Old
walker?
man Todd.
Where's my walker?
I'm actually quite fond of the edibles myself.
I've never done edibles.
Oh. Yeah. If you ever come over here, we'll have to go check some places out. Because I don't really like smoking. I don't smoke in general, so my lungs like rebel against me.
Yeah,
and
you do
I
that
don't
little
like
robot cough thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't like the feeling of my lungs being on fire. It's not very pleasant.
No, I completely understand that.
So I've found edibles to be a happy medium, and I frankly quite enjoy them personally.
Might as well, right?
Can I just tell you how amazing my mom is, by the way? I swear I'm completely sober and not drugged up in any way. My mom is amazing. When it got legalized here, my mom and my stepdad, like, they say it like all the fucking time now, basically. And when we were going to Disney, my mom was going through her purse, and she found a fucking edible in her purse at the hotel. And she's like, "Want some?" "Sure." Splits it in half, and it's like, "Oh, this is pretty good. I like it." It was basically weed candy, and it was fantastic.
Sounds like the best way to enjoy Disney.
I love my mom. It's like we couldn't like bring it on the plane with us, like, even though I'm sure she probably wanted to, but she knew it probably wouldn't have gone through TSA very well.
No,
so
not at all.
So she was like, maybe the next time we go, we could probably drive down there and make sure that you're loaded up with edibles so you don't have any panic attacks or anything. And yeah.
Well, see, and that's the thing. It's like, it's amazing for people that have anxiety.
It's the fucking best. Like I probably could, I don't want to say get away with using it before work to kind of make work a lot more tolerable. I would just be afraid of being caught somehow in some stupid way and have to do a drug test and get
that is funny.
Yeah,
make it a lot more tolerable.
It would make my work a lot more tolerable. I wouldn't be so anxious answering the phones all the fucking time.
I mean, at least you're not like one of my former coworkers that
oh, do tell.
On her shifts, apparently, what she would do is she would lock the store up, stand outside the door, and then light up.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, right in front of the door. Like,
oh, my God.
And then, no, I don't do that. And it's like, we got you on camera. Like,
we can smell it from here. Come on.
Like, come on. Like, don't know. I don't care if you do it at home. Like, seriously, just don't bring that shit here. And then she started dealing out of the store, and that was a whole nother issue.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, she started dealing out of the store, and
whoopsies.
I mean, she got away with it because she was the assistant manager, and and then when she finally got, caught for some other stuff, I'm like, told you.
Yep.
And I got that position, but yeah, it's, you never know what we're gonna pull out of the gimmick bag.
Yeah, so many gimmicks to talk about. So little time.
That
was a terrible tagline.
I mean, there's gimmicks in everything, so I mean,
we're gonna talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know what honestly is a great thing though. I have a lot of experience with it as a person that has patronized and a patron of it. Kickstarter.
Yes.
So, have you ever done a Kickstarter?
I have not.
Okay.
I've wanted to.
I have done quite a few. I've done probably more than I should have. But I have done quite a few. Let me see if it tells me my exact count of how many projects.
It should be able to tell you.
79.
Holy fucking what the hell?
Yep. 79.
Dang, dude.
79 projects that were successfully funded.
Oh. What about the unsuccessful ones?
11.
Oh.
So something like 90 projects.
Jesus. You love you some Kickstarter, man.
Well, I mean, a lot of it was like tabletop games and such. So, I mean, there was that. I mean, I got a cool pair of sunglasses as well. Like the first one, the gateway drug was actually a podcast on a vinyl.
Huh.
Which was really cool. I actually have it. It's signed and shit, so.
Right.
Then it was a board game, a Cthulhu knit ski mask.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Oh, I fucking love that thing. I can't wear it on stream because it's green.
Yeah.
And I just become invisible. Board game. Then there was my first successful failure. Game called Haunts. They ran out of money. And, you know, they had issues and the game never saw the light of day. I got a t-shirt out of it, though, so...
That's cool.
I mean, I got something, I guess. It's a reminder of a failure. Then it was a board game. Another one I've been waiting on that apparently is either being worked on or I'm getting a refund on. Then it was a web series.
Huh.
Board games, sunglasses, board game, hot sauce, board game, computer game, Tex Murphy.
Okay.
Which became, it was called Project Fedora. It ended up becoming Tesla Effect, which was actually pretty good. It was a FMV game.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
I've played it on stream.
Probably why it sounds familiar.
Yeah. Then there's another one which is called Z. It's it was a computer game, but there was also a physical version going to be made, and they're still working on that, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
Tabletop Forge, which merged with Roll20. Board game, computer game, thing called Teapot, which is a little electrical generator you set above a like a tea candle, and it actually uses the thermoelectric to power a light, or you can use it as to power a battery.
Nice.
A Cthulhu puppet play.
I see a theme here.
A game that failed. Board game. Batman girly calendar, which it was basically like pinup art. It wasn't like pinup art. It was like actual people doing pinup poses dressed as Batman villains, which was kind of cool.
For a second, I thought you were say like I was thinking like Batman pinup. I'm like thinking of like Batman having like a boudoir photo shoot or something like that.
Then there was a New York play, off-Broadway play, a comic, a CD, Penny Arcade, when they wanted to get rid of a lot of the ads on their website.
Right.
So I did that. A not a web comic, a comic book. Return to Nukem High, Trauma film, which was kind of cool. Board game, hard sleeves, board game, which kind of stopped happening.
Yeah.
Board game, a Settlers of Catan gaming board, which, I mean, I have it up there, but basically it's a 3-piece thing that you put together so you can actually put your pieces in, so if somebody bumps a table, the shit doesn't go all over the place. It's
that's actually really
nice
cool
for Catan. Another puppet show thing. Another board game. Well, it's a role-playing game. Dice. Another role-playing game which has the most ridiculous name and premise ever. The game is called Busty Barbarian Bimbos.
That's amazing.
It's like their Kickstarter video was great. It was just like, you know, this is a very math-like game because math is hard. And I'm like, thank you. Like, it's like you only have 4 stats to have to manage. You have, what is it? I think it was, I forget what the exact stats were, but it was like 1 for strength, 1 for intelligence, 1 for charisma, and then there was, and then the 4th stat was tits. Because, I mean, that's how you get through a lot of social situations in that game, apparently. So, sequel to
I should try applying that to real life this case.
Maybe?
How far that goes. Yeah, no.
What is it? Board game, a webcomic, dice, webcomic, board game, penny arcade, podcast, a wallet, which is actually this wallet I use. It's a front pocket RFID blocking wallet. It's actually really nice. Computer game, expansion to one of the board games, a board game, another computer game, a web series based on the Legend of Grimrock, which hasn't happened. Geeky sprinkles for like baking stuff. Yeah,
I think I've used those before, or I've gotten them for my mother. One of the two.
Board game.
I know one of those games in there is Friday the 13th.
That was, well, okay, so that I was late to the party on that, so that's actually something completely different.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Computer game, Tumbleweed Park, Exploding Kittens, board game, webcomic.
I thought about backing Exploding Kittens. I didn't.
I'm
terrible that way. It was like one of the most like funded games ever.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Something ridiculous.
The 20th anniversary edition of Changeling the Dreaming. Pugmire. And another one called Katanas and Trenchcoats. Now, those last 3 are very interesting because they have a common thread.
Do they?
Yes.
And what would that be?
So, Changeling the Dreaming was a game that was done initially by White Wolf Publishing. Onyx Path Publishing did the 20th anniversary edition. They also worked with Eddie Webb and published Pugmire, which is a fantastic fantasy RPG in a ancient future where you play as dogs. It is terrific.
Awesome!
And then Katanas and Trenchcoats, well, it ties in because the community manager for Onyx Path Publishing, a very awesome gent by the name of Ian A.A. Watson, worked on it, Katanas and Trenchcoats. But this brings us to
basically what we were getting at.
Yeah. If I was able to, which I'm not. I'm, you know, financially I can't.
Right.
And that would be the new Kickstarter, Trinity Continuum. Yes. Now, Trinity Continuum, it's a game that Ian's been working on for like 6 years. It's an amazing effort. And I mean, as somebody who's been working on an RPG for themselves, and I've been working on mine for like 5 years, a little over 5 years, I can understand why it takes so long to do this stuff. You know, it's
oh god, yeah.
It's, I mean, Ian was very nervous when this Kickstarter launched, which, by the way, you can back it on Kickstarter. Just search Trinity Continuum and it'll pull it up. It's a tabletop RPG. It uses Onyx Path's new system, the Story Path system. It is a D10 dice pool system. I can explain it and so on and so forth, but I feel that the best way to do this would be to just play that video for you guys, because why not?
Hi, I'm Ian Watson. Welcome to the Trinity Continuum. This Kickstarter is the starting point to explore a vast, adventurous setting crossing space, time, and even alternate realities.
Hi, I'm Danielle Lozon. Your journey begins with the Trinity Continuum core rulebook, which contains the core story path system rules for all Trinity Continuum games, plus a modern action-adventure setting in which you can play heroes called Talons. These are people gifted with extraordinary skill and luck.
A race against time to stop an EMP bomb from shutting down all electronics in the city. Heists and cons designed to separate corrupt CEOs from their ill-gotten gains. Infiltration and espionage to ferret out the location of a secret vault. Travel across the globe, and beyond. These are the sorts of stories in which talents find themselves every week.
I'm John Sneed. Trinity Continuum Aeon is the first setting which builds on the Trinity Continuum core rules, providing a game of psychic, cinematic, science fiction adventure. In the year 2123, humanity has discovered a way to awaken certain individuals' latent psionic abilities, transforming them into powerful scions. These newly empowered individuals use their powers to protect Earth from the return of hostile superhumans known as aberrants, and help humanity expand outward to the stars.
Trinity Continuum Aeon is a new edition of the classic Trinity science fiction RPG first released in 1997, with a tweaked setting and running on an all-new system.
This system, which underlies all the Trinity Continuum games, is the Story Path system, a D10 dice pool system designed from the ground up to support different levels of power and styles of play, from the godlike powers of superheroes to the heroic adventures of a team of do-gooder detectives.
While the focus of this Kickstarter is the core rulebook and the rulebook for the Aeon era, in the future we plan to add additional eras, all of them based on the story path system found in the Trinity Continuum core rulebook.
Every age has its heroes.
A battle rages across the stars. Scions are humanity's best weapon.
Will you be one of them?
Will you be one of them? That is the real question. Will you be one of those talents that help do things in the Trinity Continuum? It's an amazing project, it really is, and I don't really shill for things that I don't believe in. And I mean, I'm doing this because I'm very confident about this product, this game. It's something that I would back myself, and I feel that the best thing to do would be to kind of share it with you guys and and such, because I mean, at some point I'll end up picking this up. I mean, I'll probably end up getting if I do end up doing this, I'll probably end up doing the just the PDFs. Like, I would love a physical book, but I mean, it's just that I know for sure is completely out of my budget.
Right.
But no, it's an amazing thing. It really is. And it was like 3.5 hours this was funded. The goal was $50,000. As of recording, they're at 96,463 with 27 days remaining on this. I mean, the Kickstarter itself ends March 1st at 12:04 p.m. Eastern Standard. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking for a cool new game to play, or you're familiar, or maybe you're familiar with the Trinity games, maybe you are, maybe you're not, maybe you're looking for something new to bring to your group, this is definitely something to think about. So, but yeah, I mean, best of luck to Onyx Path, best of luck to Ian for working on this, and being an all-around genuinely great person.
Yes.
I mean, I initially quote unquote met Ian on Twitch.
Oh.
I was playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. He comes in, starts chatting and stuff like that, and blah, 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 and, whatnot. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm interacting with chat and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is great. I was still very new to streaming.
Yeah, it sounds like a very, very new thing.
And, yeah, because, I mean, if you've hung around my channel, you know that, like, chat tends to, like, talk to themselves a lot. So
yeah,
it happens. But goes, oh yeah, by the way, I'm the community manager over at Onyx Path, and I just kind of like freaked out. So it was just like, oh my gosh, that's and
that's amazing.
Apparently I was also his first Twitch stream.
Oh, that's super cool.
So it's actually pretty cool. That's very interesting. I was one of the first. Because I was playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is a game that I'm known for playing on Twitch. So
I need to get back into that. I need to have you in voice so you can like hold my hand through the rest of the game, please. I can't do it without you.
Please
I'm
help.
so lost. Please help. Help.
And I was thinking about this. One thing you could do, so there's not a delay like there usually is. Screen share your Discord.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think about it until just now. So
we'll have to do that. Let's give it a whirl.
Yep, it'll be fun. It'll be an amazing time. But yeah, I mean, I love gaming. I do. I love tabletop gaming, computer gaming. No matter what it is, I mean, I can find some enjoyable aspect of it. Rolling dice, using cards. Hell, even a game like Fiasco, where you don't have really either. You're basically an actor. And, you're given a situation and you have to act in that situation to progress the story. So it's little things like that.
Right.
I love things like that. It's just, I mean, it could be a deck builder. It could be a game that takes 10 minutes to play, like Suro or Exploding Kittens. It could be something that takes 4 or 5 hours to play, a session. Like, like some of the RPGs that I've funded. Or, or something in between, something like Zombicide, which is more of like an introduction to wargaming, essentially. Wargaming in miniatures, which is a fun game. It's a good cooperative game to play. It's a cooperative, competitive game.
Huh.
You want a true cooperative game, you want to get into Pandemic, and then have everybody hate each other. Pandemic...
It'll be a grand old time.
Pandemic is essentially what whenever I needed to have like a group and I needed people to be on the same page, I would sit them down, we'd play Pandemic.
Okay.
Because you would have to work with everybody.
Oh fuck.
You didn't like you're often you're off on your side of the globe doing your little thing. But at the same time you still have to make sure that like your scientist, depending on what role you had. Like the scientist is in a certain place so they can do this, and the medic's somewhere so they can do that. So they can kind of stem outbreaks before they happen.
Right.
Little things like that. And it was a very fun game that the game wins 9 times out of 10. Because you're not playing against the other players, you're playing against the game itself.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. That game is a real motherfucker.
Oh, I bet.
Real motherfucker when it comes down to it. But I mean, but then you got games like Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride's fun to play. People don't play Monopoly with me because I play by the rules.
How fucking dare you not go by house rules, you asshole.
I mean, the thing is, Monopoly's like I've never played a game of Monopoly where people haven't tried to shove house rules in my face.
Which is fucking stupid.
And there's certain things that are assumed are in the rules, but they're not.
Right.
Like if you land on free parking, you take all the taxes that were collected. No.
No, you don't.
No. Whatever money's taken goes into the bank.
Yep.
That's the way that works. There's none of this, you land on free parking or whatnot. You know why games Monopoly takes 7 hours to play?
God, I've had one span for days.
Because of all the house rules. I mean, it's none of this, I don't want this property shit. Like, if you don't want this, if you don't want the property goes up for auction.
Yep.
None of this, if you land on go, you get double amounts. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
It's just, you have to go around the board at least once before you can start purchasing shit. Fuck you. No. That's not the way the game's played. I mean, it's.
Rules are weird.
Yeah, I can understand a game. Like, even some games, I can understand them going on for a long amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you look at the core games, like you look at a game like Clue, you look at a game like Monopoly or Scrabble.
Mm-hmm.
Those shouldn't take more than a fucking hour and a half to play.
Right.
I mean, how much experience do you have with tabletop gaming?
Not a whole hell of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't really a big thing in my family growing. So
The thing is, it wasn't a big thing in mine either.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just a matter of like we had board games just in case like the power went out, that kind of stuff and
Right.
such. But other than that, I mean, they were there just for those reasons. Like the Game of Life was there just for that reason. Scrabble
Mm-hmm.
was there just for that reason. I mean, we didn't sit around like, oh, family fun night on Friday, family fun night. We're gonna have pizza and play board games. Like, to me, that's an ideal Friday night.
Right.
I would love that. Like, thinking of that now, like, if by chance I ever do end up having a actual family
Mm-hmm.
of my own,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would want to do on Friday nights.
Right.
Or just like one night a week. Be like, we're gonna have pizza. We're gonna play board games. We're gonna have a great time. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little dry there. But yes.
No worries.
But I mean, it's very interesting. And I see it a lot in my Twitch channel. Because I get a lot of those people that know Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That know that those properties attached with White Wolf Publishing and such. And there's a lot of tabletop gamers out there, and there's a lot of people that are tabletop gamers that don't realize they are either.
Right.
Because when you mention tabletop gaming, they instantly think, oh, well, you're talking like D&D. It's like, no, we're not talking D&D. We're talking like Ticket to Ride. We're talking about Settlers of Catan. Like, oh, I used to play Settlers of Catan all the time. Like, motherfucker.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Like, it doesn't have to be some obscure game or some super complicated game. I mean, shit, if you sat there and played War with somebody, or Risk, you know, Risk is a game that takes fucking forever. No matter how you cut it, it takes forever.
Right.
But you play a card game with somebody, you're technically playing a tabletop game. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, that tabletop gaming was not a big thing, but was there any board games or anything that you were kind of your thing, or?
Nothing that really comes to mind. I live a very sad life.
I will put it this way: if I ever head out to your coast, I will have my carry-on, which will have just like my day-to-day stuff, and then I will have my checked luggage, which will just basically be board games, because
awesome.
That's whenever I travel. That's if I have to if I'm allowed to check a bag for free. That's how I travel. Like, I will, like, when I went to PAX East, like, my checked bag was just essentially board games. And
right.
it was some board games and then room for shit to bring shit back. So
yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, it was just little things like that. It's just, it's intimidating though. Like like if out in your part of the world, you have a lot of great tabletop game shops.
Oh god, there's so many out here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the big one, the most notable one anyway, is what, Card Kingdom? It's the one
I don't know.
think that's the one that I think that's the one that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they're something like that. Yeah, no, it's them. They have 2 locations. They have one in Seattle, one in Bellevue.
Oh, Yuppie Town. Got it.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I know I've never been out that way, and I know of that place, so it's kind of says something about them.
Yeah.
But I mean, even though that's the case, like I'm still, I mean, I would love to go out there. You know, I know I wouldn't be able to bring anything back because half the shit would be able to get there, I can get here at some of the shops, or I can just order online. And I mean, ordering online does hurt the brick and mortars. It's a thing. But I mean, all in all, it's sometimes that's all you have.
Right.
I mean, I remember the first time I went to a Target and I noticed that they were carrying non-traditional, quote unquote, tabletop games. And I was just like really amazed by it. I was legitimately amazed by it because I was just like, I can get fucking Pandemic here. I can get this game here. I can get that game here. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is nuts. But then, you know, I would go to my local brick and mortar, my mom and pop friendly neighborhood game store, and I would get Munchkin, and I would get, you know.
Oh, I love Munchkin. I haven't played that in forever. I forgot about that game. Thank you.
See, and that's what happens.
Ah.
But yeah, I mean, like I have just from the local shop. I mean, got Munchkin there. I got Shay Goth, which is an interesting game. I don't think I purchased a lot of like the big box stuff because just, I mean, it was a pain in the ass to kind of carry it back, you know? So it was a lot of like, I would go there, I'd get dice. And it was just like, I have a whole over this way, I have a whole little pouch. And I say little pouch, but it's not really that little.
Nice Oscar shirt, by the way. Oh my god.
Yep. So, I mean, I got my dice pouch. And it's just like...
Mine is pathetic in comparison. Let me grab it.
But, I mean, this thing here, it's just like...
Also, this is like the only bag of Captain Morgan private stock I've ever seen. Because, like, all the dice bags I've seen are, like, the Crown Royal bags. Yeah. I've never seen anyone else use these. Ever. So I can thank my ex for that.
But yeah, I mean, that's a hefty little sack of dice.
Yeah, I have like 2 sets of dice in here in that set. And both sets fucking hate me. They roll so poorly. I think it's due to neglect.
I think I have something around 10 to 12 sets in here.
Sweet.
And extras.
Jesus.
So, like, I'll have, like, a couple extra D20s in there. You know, have a couple extra D4s. Like, oh, well, you got 12 sets of dice. Like, I mean, yeah, but still, I need... You know, there's times that you go, you know what, fuck it, this is not working for me. This dice is not working for me. So I will now reach in, I will grab a new D20. One that hasn't been tainted this game.
Exactly. That's the important bit.
Yeah, but then, I mean, I got a lot of D10s because, you know, and I just pulled out 2 of them right there. And, I mean, the D10s, it's because of dice pool games, you know, World of Darkness specifically. Gotta have, I mean, you need to have, I think it's recommended to have like 5 at least D10s.
Right.
So, I mean, which is not bad.
No.
Because you're usually, I want to say that's your typical roll, depending on the way your stats play out.
Yeah.
But then I also have like fudge dice, which are D6s, but instead of numbers, it has 2 faces that are blank, 2 faces with a minus, and 2 faces with a plus on it.
Okay.
And you roll them, and if you roll them as a pool, you roll 4 dice, and then it's just like you kind of add those together. So it's like a plus is a success, a minus is a failure, and then a blank is a wash. There's no action. So, and then with fudge dice, or fate dice, as they're more commonly known. Let me center myself a little better. You work off your sheet. So certain actions you have set as like certain actions will give you like an extra bonus on top of it. So you want to try to do it like, oh, my character's going to use going to do like they're good at backflips, and I have that set as like fantastic. So then I'll have a plus whatever to that. So it's like so then it would count as you have like 7 successes or whatever. If you ended up rolling like 2 pluses, 3 pluses and a blank, it would be you would get 3 successes on that plus the other shit. So I mean, it's there's a lot of different game systems. There's a lot of different ways to play. I mean, me and the Pathfinder group, right now we're in between games. And I think we're going to be covering that on Pod Errors, which we're supposed to be recording this weekend. Which, I mean, we're, and as one of the other shows on the network, we're finally getting things together on.
Woohoo!
And so we'll be doing that. We'll be recording that this weekend. It'll probably be up on like Tuesday or something like that. But it's gonna be a very interesting discussion, and this isn't a spoiler or anything like that. And because I was messaging Maury while we were through it, and we're trying to figure out a game to play because we were doing Pathfinder. We took time off of Pathfinder. We went back to Pathfinder. We took time off from it. We started doing Starfinder, and we took a lot of time off because people were having trouble grasping their new characters and creating new characters. So now it's just like, all right, so what kind of game do we want to play? And I'm just like, I'm fine with fucking whatever. You want to do a D20 game? I'm fine with that. You want to do a dice pool game? I'm fine with that. You want to do fate game? I'm fine with that. So on and so forth. And I'm very flexible in that way. Like, oh, you want it to be set in the Old West? Fine. You want it to be set like in a far future space setting? I'm fine with that. You want it to be medieval? Great. No big deal. Like, I'm very flexible when it comes down to it.
Right.
And I'm relatively good at being able to find my character quickly, if that makes any sense. Where some people they have trouble doing it, and it's no fault of theirs. Like, they'll play a character, they get attached to that character, and now that playing a new game, or you guys are playing a new game, and that archetype is no longer there, they're lost. I mean, it's a thing that happens. It's especially when you change settings or you change systems or whatnot. It happens more times than you want to believe, and not everybody is as comfortable of jumping into a new character or whatnot. I mean, the running gag, and I say it's a running gag, but when I'm playing, I think as my character in the moment. So I don't think about like the character's 5-year plan,
Right.
I played a Dwarven Barbarian. Dwarven Barbarian who never raged because fucking math. I didn't want to have to deal with it. Just the way it is. And he was dumb as shit. But he was raised as a warrior. So like to him, all he knew was conflict. All he knew was battle. So for him, like, he would go into a situation and it would be, well, this is a bad situation. He goes, I'm going to stab this situation in the face. Like, that's what I'm going to do. Like, that's
how I should approach life now.
I mean, I gave the character a voice and everything like that, and there was a funny moment where I had been not paying full attention to what was going on. So the two of the players are having a conversation, and one of them said, "So what do you think?" And I thought they were talking to me. And I'm like, I have nothing to add to this conversation. And I did it in the character's voice because the character kind of talked like this. He was a gruff dwarf. A gruff beardless dwarf because he was scared of spiders. His father was killed by one once.
Oh my god.
Once? Only killed by him once. That's all it takes. And it became a running gag of they're like, "Oh, Starin, what do you think?" And because they would always catch me when I'm not paying attention, I'm like, I have nothing to add to this conversation. Or it would be like, "Oh, so what should we do?" And I'm like, "How about we just stab it in the fucking face?" But I played the character so recklessly, because that's how that character should have been played. Where to him, if he died in battle, that was a glorious death. So it was no big deal for him. And they were just like, it would have been a shame if your character died. And I'm just like, why? It's not a big deal. If he dies, I have plans for other characters. I constantly have plans for other characters. And I constantly have backup plans. So, for example, when I was in my depression and we brought Pathfinder back, I played a half drow, who was super depressed. She didn't want, she was there, but it was like, I really don't give a shit whatever happens. I don't care. We're probably all gonna die. That's the way she thought. It worried people because they knew that I throw myself into some of these characters. So they're just like, I think he's saying something, and it's just and later on, I was just like, yeah, no, I was in a really dark place.
Yeah. Oh.
But playing the character allowed me to kind of express some of that without me being like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, I'm super depressed. Smiles.
Yeah.
But I play most of my characters, as I said, I play them in the moment. I don't give them a plan. Because sometimes, you take a character who's essentially nihilistic, like Autumn was. So what if she dies? It doesn't matter to her. Right. You take a character like Starin, who is essentially a member of the warrior caste and has been raised on honor and all the other stuff. To him, if it happens, then it better have been a good fight. That's the way he looks at it. And you take little things like that, and you look at it, and you go, to me, it doesn't seem hard to develop characters. It never has been. And I love that. I love that creativity. I love being able to tell a story and be a part of it, That's what drew me to RPGs. So, at some point, I would love to sit down with, with you, maybe Anubis, a couple other people, and have just run a session or something like that, because I think that could be fun. Even if we end up playing a Magical Girls game, which I think would be terrific.
Oh, Anubis would love that.
With transformations and everything, it'd be terrific. All right, so my character's, I'm going to go and do my transformation. All right, so what are you doing? I have to get everything proper before I do the transformation. So you spam a link to the music of the transformation, for which for me would be the theme of Minoru Suzuki. It is anime as fuck. I'm sorry.
It is anime as fuck. Not gonna lie. It is very unsettling considering he's a crazy man.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, it's just... And I also explained to him, like, because, like, they were going over, like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm, like, the only one taking that conversation serious. Because, like, I'm looking at, like, well, what kind of music would my character transform to? Because for me, like, I don't watch anime anymore. I haven't watched anime in almost a decade.
Right.
So for me, like, when it comes to, like, the magical girl stuff, I know Sailor Moon. You know, and I know that there was specific music that played and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, all right, well, you know what would be great? It would be this. And I'm like, it would have to be the Minoru Suzuki theme. But the transformation would start, and the transformation doesn't really happen until about 2.5 minutes in when that hook hits. So, like, the music plays and everybody stand there and you're just like, wait for it. Wait for it. Like, I mean, that's just the way I look at it. I think that'd be probably one of the best things to do. But I mean, it's something that I would love to do, and it's something that I've contemplated doing on my own Twitch channel, is having a group, and we run an RPG live on Twitch, and I think that would be a cool thing to do. However, the only problem with that is, like, it's just been logistics, like trying to get everybody together at the same time and so on and so forth, and schedule everything and blah, blah, blah. You know, like, one Sunday every month, you know, I can't do a stream, you know?
Right.
So I know that going in. So is it like a monthly game? Who knows? I mean, I would love to do that on Precipice Podcast Twitch channel. I think
I was actually about to suggest that we should probably do some tabletop gaming on the channel once I know what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, it would be fun to kind of do it where people are learning too.
You
know, and I think that'd be one of the cooler things to do in that situation.
I attack the darkness.
With what? What? You don't have anything. I have fists. I run into the darkness and yell, "Get these hands!" Why?
Oh my god.
What's my character's strength? Your character's strength's an 18. So you're saying I can flip a semi?
Yes.
If you roll right, yeah. I'm gonna try to flip a semi. We're in fucking medieval times. There's no semis. What's the equivalent of a semi? I don't know.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna flip it on the enemy. Like, why would you do that?
Why not?
Yeah, but I mean, it's something that I would love to do. Love to bring to. I wanted to bring it to my channel. It's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Right.
But I feel that with the group that we have with the network, it might be a little bit more feasible. You know, because two of them I already do tabletop with. So, Ballin and Ray. So, I mean, that would be kind of a cool thing to do, and it's a discussion for later on down the road anyway, but,
right.
You know, just kind of getting that out there, since we're talking about tabletop, you know?
I
mean, we're only an hour and 10 minutes in on this, and we haven't really talked wrestling at all, so...
I know, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, let's get to that wrestling talk, that sweet, sweet wrestling talk.
Oh, yes.
So, what the fuck happened this week that we didn't cover last night? That's the biggest problem, like...
Well, fuck, I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, it's just... That's always the biggest problem, is trying to find the stuff that we haven't talked about the night before.
Right.
So... Oh, hey, they finally aired the episode where Austin Aries wins the Impact World title. Yay!
Nice. You can watch that later.
Yeah. An 8-bit reenactment of Dungeons & Dragons. Nice.
It's Have you not seen that before?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god.
So, you know what? Last night, we were talking about TakeOver. We were talking about the Almas and Gargano match.
Mm-hmm. Which Meltzer rated 5 stars.
Meltzer gave it 5 stars.
Amazingly enough. Hasn't done that in like, what, almost 7 years now?
Yeah. So, it's funny because, I mean, I it was a great match, and I said it was like 4.5. But what do I know? I'm not, you know, Uncle Dave, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it was a great match, and Gargano kind of sent out a tweet, like, 5-star Lord, like, because, like, oh, it's a 5-star match, this is a big deal.
And Star-Lord. And Star-Lord.
Yeah.
No, Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyways.
And then Tommaso Ciampa kind of...
his tweet is amazing.
Yeah. Because it's 5 stars. And it's him as he hit Johnny with the crutch.
Yep.
And Candice's face, which is terrific. And Zelina Vega goes, but you lost. That rating belongs to the real star of that match. You're at WWE NXT champion at Andrade CN WWE. You know, so it's like, I like how they're working that in.
Yeah.
But they did tapings tonight. And we're gonna spoil like the next 3 weeks of shows for you. So
sorry.
So if you don't want to hear about what's happening post TakeOver Philly, on the road to WrestleMania, I mean the road to TakeOver New Orleans, Nolans, just kind of sit tight. So Sandy,
we'll see you in a bit. Skip ahead. We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Well, that'll be a fun thing. You get to see a little something there. So just hold on a second because my Discord crashed. Which is always fun. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a pain in the ass. Oh, because it wanted to update. That's why.
Of course it did, because fuck you.
Of course it wanted to fucking update. There we go. Now it's fixed. Yay!
Woo!
Yeah, because I looked over at Discord and Discord was frozen. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I look at OBS, and the second I went to OBS, it's just like, Discord's crashing, and I'm like, motherfucker.
No!
But yeah, so we had, it was Sanity against Undisputed Era, which didn't end up happening. Because Sanity and the Undisputed Era would not stop brawling. So...
For fuck's sake!
So Regal, who wasn't, as this thing says, wasn't too pleased, made it a tornado tag match between both all members of both teams. So, I mean, there's that. Heavy Machinery went over Roderick Moss and Tino Sabatelli. Roderick refuses to help Tino up and heads to the back alone. Johnny Gargano comes out for a promo and calls out Tommaso Ciampa. But Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega come out instead. Almas holds up the title in Johnny's face, but Candice LeRae comes out to back him up. So that's kind of cool. And they end up with a match made. Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. One more time for the NXT Championship. But if Johnny loses, he's gone from NXT. How do you feel about that?
No. Olive, my no.
Because
no,
you
don't take
because
Johnny
you don't
away
want
from me from
Gargano
NXT.
off of NXT.
I don't. I want to see him win that belt. Damn it.
Somebody's gonna gift that. I know it. It's just a little puff.
Yep.
Yep. But no. So Gargano's been ready for the main roster.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose.
He doesn't need the belt to get over. What does it really do to give him the championship? You know, it gives him
makes my little Mark Hart happy.
Well, first off, you have a big heart. That's the thing.
You.
And we all know that WWE booking doesn't like us to have nice things. So
I know. The fuck.
Bianca Belair went over an enhancement talent. Sanity went over the Undisputed Era in that 6-man tornado tag match. So, TM61 went over 2 guys.
Wait, Will-O-The-Wisp is back? What?
Huh?
Will-O-The-Wisp, are they still around?
Oh.
You said TM61, right?
Yeah.
Will-O-The-Wisp.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon reference, yeah.
Yeah. I completely, I haven't seen them in forever. I kind of forgot about them.
Well, one of them was injured.
That explains it.
Yeah. Pete Dunne went over Roderick Strong to retain the UK Championship.
Interesting.
Aleister Black cuts a promo saying that the devil that drives him is the NXT Championship. And Killian Dane comes out to interrupt. Aleister tells him he'll fade to black. So they're setting up that, which will be fun.
Right.
Shayna Baszler went over Ember Moon.
Oh.
Via DQ.
Okay, I could see that happening.
It was a women's title match.
Oh. Wait, if it was
Ember got disqualified. Championship doesn't change hands on disqualification.
Right. Right.
While Shayna is about to break Ember's arm in a barricade, Kairi Sane came out and made the save, which caused disqualification.
I love her.
Velveteen Dream went over No Way Jose. Dream gets
not surprising. I think anybody could go over her. I like No Way Jose, but oh my god. Haven't seen him in a while either.
Yeah. Nikki Cross went over Vanessa Bourne, who I'm not familiar with. Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake, also known as the Forgotten Sons. Who knew? I forgot they were on the fucking roster.
I don't think I've seen them before, have I? I don't remember. Yeah, they don't sound familiar.
They went over Elijah Evans the fourth and somebody. Whatever. After the match, Forgotten Sons declared that they're in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So they're doing another Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which I'm happy about.
Right.
Now, this is where your heart breaks.
Damn it.
Andrade Cien Almas goes over Johnny Gargano to retain the NXT Championship in a title versus career match. After a ref bump, Tommaso Ciampa comes out and attacks Johnny Gargano with his crutch again, leading to Almas picking up the win with his hammerlock DDT.
Oh, motherfucker.
After the match, Candice and Johnny had a moment together in the ring. Johnny gets a standing ovation and William Regal comes out and hugs him on the stage. This whole time, Ciampa is waving goodbye and smiling from the crowd.
He is doing fantastic heel work in this case. Oh my god.
Johnny hangs out with the crowd for a bit to say goodbye, taking pictures and signing autographs. So that was kind of cool. And And then tomorrow's set of tapings is going to be a lot of the Dusty classic stuff. So
Right.
the tapings they're doing is going to bring us up pretty close to WrestleMania, so they'll have a good idea of what's going on. I don't know when the Gargano thing is going to air.
Right.
Because it could very well mean that Gargano, his last NXT is this Wednesday. If they do that.
Right.
But then again, it could be, because this is supposed to be 3 weeks worth of tapings. This one week, this one episode, this one taping. So, the way I see it is, it's probably going to be week 2 or 3 on the tapings. And then from there, he'll probably come up to the main roster. Ciampa will do the same shit to him there. It gets them. This is actually a really good spot to get them both out of NXT.
Right.
Because this is something people want to see. And if Johnny goes to the main roster, because he's now lost his NXT career, when are we getting the blow off between him and Ciampa?
True.
So this is a way to bring them both up, because honestly, prior to Ciampa's injury, they were both ready. They've been ready for a while. So, bring him back and have him just attack Gargano. Gargano cannot have nice things.
Pretty much.
That's what we need to do. So I mean, there's that. Those are the NXT tapings, and you're welcome. You skipped ahead past the thing, and so there's that. But I mean, other than that, like, people are upset with the way that Ronda Rousey debuted. They're not upset with her, just the way that it was booked.
It was done, yeah.
So I mean, that's a big thing. That's actually a really big thing. Apparently, Impact hasn't aired the Feast or Fired, where EC3 got his Fired contract. So that's a thing. And E thinks that Cody and Brandy Rhodes have their own personal handshake.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, it looks like it may have been deleted.
No.
They may have deleted that tweet because cease and desist.
Yeah.
Because their little personal handshake was the too sweet.
God, I love them.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a thing. It's like, well, that's like the cage side seat still has the tweet. It doesn't have the photo anymore. Yeah, basically their thing is E thinks Brandy and Cody Rhodes have their own personal handshake. Should we tell them, or do we tell them? And it's like Total Divas and Total Bellas aren't the only wrestlers on E these days. Brandy Rhodes and her husband, some dude named Cody, are in the cast of the new season of WAGS Atlanta. Like the WWE reality franchise, WAGS is a live gift on social media. And whoever is working the Twitter machine for E tonight doesn't seem to be a big fan of the grappling. And it's at the Brandy Rhodes and at Cody Rhodes have their own handshake. Could they be any cuter? And it's them doing the too sweet. It's fucking terrific.
That's amazing.
But apparently the tweet got taken down.
Yeah,
I don't blame them. I mean, it's a thing, Wendy's. Do you like Wendy's? Let's get back on the food real quick.
Yes, I do.
You like Wendy's?
Yes.
Nice. I'm going to share this with you so you can.
Okay.
So you can. Hold on. That's the initial tweet.
Mm-hmm. It's Rusev Day. Yes! Oh my god, Wendy's Twitter is amazing.
Wendy's Twitter is best Twitter.
That and Nihilistic Arby's.
Nihilistic Arby's is terrific. It's too bad that isn't actually Arby's.
I know.
Though when you go in there, everybody's depressed as shit. So
yeah, at least the one that's in your area. I don't really frequent Arby's around me, so
they fucking hate themselves here.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just little things like that. That's terrific. I absolutely love Wendy's. Wendy's is of the fast food chains. It's the one if you go, oh well, we can go here, or we can go Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy's is the one I usually go with.
Yes,
because it's like, why would I not want to go with Wendy's? You know.
Now, are you a fan of like the French fries and the Frosty?
No.
It's not everybody is.
So, in my case, I can't have the Frosty.
Oh.
Because it ruins, like, anything with dairy. Typically ruins
right.
my insides, so.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But their French fries are on fucking point.
Oh my god, I love their French fries.
I personally cannot, like, I don't usually get French fries, ever.
Mm-hmm.
At Wendy's, it is a mandatory thing. I need them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, positively need them. There is no life without them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was able to have Wendy's a lot more than, back before I hit the rough times that I hit, my typical order was 2 junior bacons, a grilled Asiago Ranch Chicken Club, which is fucking delicious, a triple Baconator combo.
Sweet Jesus! God!
Large.
Oh
because
my
I
God.
need the large fry. I need the large fry.
I would explode if I tried to eat all that. Just saying. I could not. Nope.
I mean, personally, I like the Baconator is my go-to Wendy's burger.
I love the Baconator. I have issues eating it comfortably, just the normal size. So I think your meal would probably kill me. Good lord.
So, I mean, Wendy's does have something that I wanted to try. That I've never had a chance to.
Oh.
It's from Wendy's.
Does it have bacon in it?
It does not, no.
Oh. What the flying fuck is that?
The T-Rex.
What the shit? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 patties. Oh my god.
9 patties.
How the fuck do you fit that in your face?
By unhinging my jaw.
My god.
You can get bacon on it if you want.
Oh Jesus. I think I can hear my arteries slamming shut as we speak.
I hear my stomach rumbling.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. Stop this. Yeah. How dare you make me want real food after not really being able to eat. Well, I could eat. It's just my stomach hated me. But yeah.
Well, and I mean, we talked a little bit about Arby's. So I figured this was only appropriate as well.
Right. I'd try it.
That is Meat Mountain.
That looks delicious.
It is it's apparently a secret menu item, just like the T-Rex burger.
Mm-hmm.
Meat Mountain is just exactly what it says. It is every type of meat that they have on a sandwich.
Dear God.
So it's got like I think it's got 2 chicken strips on the bottom, and then it's got the turkey, the roast beef, the ham, the corned beef. It's got bacon on it. I mean, I'm not sure, like the picture I just sent with the can you conquer it? I'm not sure. That had to be before they did like the smokehouse stuff. Because there was the Smokehouse Mountain that you could get, which was just all the smokehouse meat. So it had like the smoked pork belly, and so, it was fucking good.
Oh, it sounds good.
It was delicious. Yeah, the Smokehouse Mountain had smokehouse brisket, pork belly, turkey. So it had those 3 on there. So it wasn't as outrageous. But I mean, at the same time, like, I'll share that picture with you. Still looks fucking delicious.
That looks so good. God damn it, Todd. I'm hungry.
Yeah, well.
How dare you?
I mean, this is what it's like being around me all the time. Because I'm just like...
Yeah.
This
food.
I'm just like... I love food. I absolutely do adore it. But I mean, that being said, like, I mean, that's one thing I do miss, is I miss having decent food. You know, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's funny? On this episode, we've talked more about food than
wrestling or anything else.
Anything else.
And not like that's a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Doesn't necessarily have to be like a gimmick everywhere we have to talk about.
I mean, everything's got a gimmick, so...
Yeah, true.
I mean, we covered Kickstarter stuff, we covered tabletop gaming, we covered the only real wrestling shit that's happened since last night.
Right.
I mean, that's another thing. Like, if you guys have wondered why there's been like kind of a change with Gimmick Bag on its focus, like, part of it is we've heard from people that we know that like what we do, but they can't get into the wrestling stuff. The other thing is we do Brothering Around, and we talk about basically the stuff we would end up talking about in the wrestling segment.
Yep.
So, and I mean, that's not a bad thing. It really isn't. It allows us to be play it fast and loose, basically.
Yeah.
Which is what we usually do. Is there anything on your mind that you would like to discuss as Torgo does his weird behand?
No, I think we've pretty much covered what we wanted to kind of talk about and then some, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we honestly, let's be honest, what were we going to talk about? We were going to talk about the Kickstarter thing.
Kickstarter and wrestling, and that was about
that
fucking
was
it. And then it just morphed into, like, drugs.
And the MST3K.
And MST3K.
Which, arguably, we didn't hit all the points we wanted to on, because
right.
we're going to get into what got us into it, and so on and so forth, and then Big Mouth here had to just spout his stuff.
That's fine.
It happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us once again for another episode of Gimmick Bag. You guys are terrific. Thank you all for listening, for downloading us on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Radio Public.
Nice.
Watching the video archive on Twitch. If you do go to the Twitch channel, we would greatly appreciate if you dropped a follow, because it's kind of difficult for us to gauge how much we're getting, how much views we're getting from these. And plus, if you guys do enjoy the video archive or anything that we do on that channel, it lets you know when a new episode goes up. It lets you know when we're just hanging out in the chat during a weekend, for example. We're gonna do a stream. Like I'm planning on doing some streams on the channel where it's gonna be actual gameplay or whatnot. So
right,
it'd be kind of fun. It'd be kind of awesome. If you guys want to support the Precipice Podcast Network, there are 2 buttons in the panels, if you're on the Twitch, that you can click. There is the shop, where you can purchase some lovely t-shirts to adorn your vessel with.
Yes.
There's also Loot Crate, which is an amazing service that I can't speak higher about. So, I mean, technically there's another one there, but that's tied into an announcement, and that one I don't think that's live yet. So,
not yet.
But yeah,
or at least it shouldn't be yet.
It shouldn't be now. If you're listening to us, go to the show notes. There'll be links in the description for the shop and for the Loot Crate as well. So thank you guys, as always. You've been amazing, terrific, wonderful people. And we'll catch you next time. Another edition of Gimmick Bag. Later.
Bye.